Colin Kelly here from Comsteria. You can find out more about us at comsteria.co.uk. I'm doing some training today for the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. It's a social media course. Remember, you can catch up on all the CIPR courses just by visiting their website, cipr.co.uk. But I'm just getting set, and so social media was on my mind, and one of the highlights for me this year on social media is this. Did you see this during Euro 2020? The tiny football car. Now, if all you watched was the games and you never looked on Twitter, then you'll have seen the little Volkswagen car, the ID4, bringing the ball onto the pitch for the big games. But the best bit of it was it behaves as though it is a real human being, it's a real person, it's a real character. It has its own Twitter account, @tinyfootballcar. And now during Euro 2020, it was talking about bringing the ball onto the pitch and all the stuff around the sponsorship of the games. But now it's gone on holiday. It's gone on holiday since the football finished, and it seems to be in France at the moment. And it has a dialogue, interacts one-on-one. People go on Twitter and they chat to it. So it started a rumour that it's going to be on Strictly this year. And then it did a shift in a pub in France yesterday, I think it did, or a few days ago. Here it is, the Red Lion. It did a shift in there in one of the pubs to get some more money for the rest of its travels. Now it seems to have moved on to France. So it's got a life. I think that's the exciting thing. This is a sponsorship activity. This is a gimmick, this is a stunt. Well, no, it's so much more than that. It has a life. It even has a life beyond the Euro 2020 football sponsorship. Now, if you compare that to what Coca-Cola did, during Euro 2020, what did Coca-Cola do? Well, they put a bottle of Coca-Cola, a bottle of Coke Zero on the press conference table, and the greatest football player in the world scoffed at it, moved it out the road. Coca-Cola did the bare minimum, product placement. What Volkswagen did with the tiny football car is they created life and character and attitude, which is the embodiment of what they want the product to have, the vehicle to have. So for me, Coca-Cola, that's a very old-fashioned, completely stale sponsorship that they did. Volkswagen have done something that lives and breathes, almost literally, as much as they could, lives and breathes on social media, and it's getting a great response, and it makes you feel something. I think that's the really interesting thing about social media when it's done well, is how does it make people feel, right? We know that the car's fake. We know that it's not real. It doesn't have an attitude. We know somewhere at the back of our head there's somebody probably at Volkswagen or maybe an agency sitting writing these messages and staging these photographs. But the way it makes you feel, whether that it makes you laugh or it makes you think, oh, that's cute, that bit is real. That's a real emotion. And Coca-Cola failed to do that now because they're not doing enough. They're doing the bare minimum. They used to make you feel something. Remember when they did the share a Coke? And it was your name and you could share it with a friend. That made people feel something. But that particular Euro 2020 sponsorship, it didn't make people feel anything. It was just there. Brand awareness, not enough anymore. We need to go further. We need to try and engage people emotionally. And when we're putting content on social media, it needs a story arc. It needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that's what Volkswagen are doing with their tiny football car. And I like as well that the username on Twitter is not branded up. It's just @tiny football car. It is an official account. It says that in the biography. It mentions the vehicle and the brand name in the biography, but in the username itself, it doesn't. So fair play to Tiny Football Car. They're doing really well with that. And congratulations to Volkswagen. For me, that's one of the social media highlights of the whole year. Gary Ennis and I are doing our social media training on the 27th of August. That's 2 weeks on Friday. It's a full day delivered via webinar. And it would be great if you could come and join us. Embracethespace.co.uk. That's where you can sign up and get your tickets. Embracethespace.co.uk. It's always an excellent day. There'll be a few other businesses joining us. You might have seen our book, the Embrace the Space book. It's really everything you need to take your social media to the next level. We want you now, here in the 21st century, getting real business results from social media. So embracethespace.co.uk, it's all there. Thank you very much for watching today. We're looking forward to COP26 in November in Glasgow, this big climate conference. You've seen so much about it on the news right now. And, well, what is it to you? What is it to your business? Is it just a gathering of world leaders? Or is it an opportunity? Is it almost a challenge? Is it an obligation to step up and do something? And here at Comsteria, our clients, many of them have declared climate emergencies. So whatever I think of it, however I feel about it, it's really not the issue. Our clients are telling us that this is an emergency. So that's why all our training is, even now, even after COVID restrictions ease, it's all delivered remotely. Much easier, makes more sense on a whole number of reasons. I used to despair sometimes at seeing our clients having to tie themselves in knots, even trying to book rooms to organise training. And then you get the staff some of them having to travel, some of them having to leave early. Some of them, worried about their parking was going to run out and they'd have to nip out and change it. That's not a healthy training environment. And I think also there was a feeling with face-to-face physical training that the client would book us for a day. So we would then fill a day. Well, what if I can deliver that in 5 hours or 6 hours, or half the time? And so it was definitely, there was a flaw in it all. Whereas I think now online delivery, it's more useful hours, more friendly hours for people. They got a bit more control. They can shape it around maybe childcare responsibilities that they might have. Not everybody wants to travel. Not everybody can travel. Not everybody can drive. Some people even public transport's a challenge for them. So we want to make our training as accessible as possible. We want to give our client the best possible service, and we have an obligation, I think, to do whatever we can to help our planet. And this, to me, seems like it's the bare minimum. And I don't think we deserve any plaudits for doing this. I think it's a no-brainer. It should be delivered remotely. So that's what we're doing. Hope that you'll come and join us. 27th of August, Gary Ennis and myself. You get all the information at embracethespace.co.uk. And I'm going to head off now and get myself organised for today's Social Media Essentials course that I'm running for the Chartered Institute of Public Relations. Have a great